So welcome back once again.
I like that music.
Yeah, me too. It's good stuff. And we are just going to dive back in with the teachings about Lemuria through Cryon and the archivist, Monica.
You're not going to hear as much from the archivist at this moment because it's my turn to just talk about things that I'm interested in regarding the revelation that Cryon has given. And it was some years ago when he finally revealed we do have 24 pairs of the chromosomes, not 23. And that the 24th pair was invisible. Now, this is where it gets fun for me because part of the I would say, objection that I had to New Age thinking 35 years ago and the objections that I had when I was drug into this channeling and didn't want to do it is that it was all stupid stuff. And that if anything important was there, of course it was invisible.
How convenient.
How convenient. So nobody could prove it. And so here we are again in that very same thing, in that very same stage. And so when Cryon revealed it, I went, oh, here it goes. Here it goes again. Everybody's going to roll their eyes and go, of course it's invisible. I want to, there's a couple things. Now, I want to give you some opinions I have. But more than that, I want to tell you that there's a reason that Cryon revealed it in the shift. There's a reason there is a 24th invisible pair. It is a multi-dimensional pair. When you start looking at the human body, is it possible that there are multi-dimensional parts and pieces? And the answer is almost qualified now, yes. I think it was Vladimir Poponin who worked with DNA, and Greg Braden had a report on that for a while, where he actually worked with quantum energies plus DNA parts and pieces and found that DNA actually reacted to quantum energy. And so there was already I would say, a precedent set that the DNA had some quantum aspects to it. Then you have the area of quantum biology. There are quantum biologists. So all of this is to say it's kind of sneaking in that perhaps the human body itself is a little more multidimensional than we think. And this, of course, gives a little bit of, I would say, truth, more truth to the idea that perhaps we have this going on. What the thing is that it's a mystery to why it's there, but not anymore. If in the past years when Cryon said, well, you have 24th pair multidimensional of DNA, then he revealed where it had come from. And this is where it gets into the study of Lemuria. It was put there at the time of the 23 change. So you go back to a few moments ago when Monica was talking about the 23, the intervention that took place, the book by Greg talking about how chromosome 2 was altered. And by the way, if you talk to those who look at DNA and the scientists who gave this information about chromosome 2 and the telomere to telomere connection, they also had something else, that there's no way in regular evolutionary processes that could have happened. They said there just isn't any way. That's not the way evolution works. It doesn't put things together that way. And so there is this mystery at all about how it took place. That adds then credibility, perhaps, to what we're saying, that there was intervention. But now we have this 24th pair. I love some of the comments of those researchers who are open thinkers, who when that was given by Cryon, said, I knew it. They said, because the balance of chemistry almost says they're there, but they're not. We have 23 sets of chromosomes, and yet the balance says there's 24. So I'm not sure exactly, because I'm not a biologist, what that means. But evidently there is some, I always say, credibility in the balance, in chemistry and all, that we do have a complete set of 24, and yet only 23 are visible. When you get into this invisible thing, this is where I have some fun. Because there is a whole lot of precedent in our scientific history for invisible things becoming visible. Only visible with the technology we have to observe them. There's also this narrative of whatever is stays the same no matter what is discovered. I find that absolutely fascinating because we learn in school that the scientific method is king. I mean, there's controls, there's ways of measuring science, and all scientists know it, and yet they tend to ignore things they don't like. One of the famous ones, and forgive me, I don't know the researcher's name, the fellow who actually discovered is he had an intuitive idea that ulcers were caused by a bacteria instead of worry. Now, in the years when I was born and growing up, ulcers were caused by worry and stress, and that was just a given, and that's how they were treated. You took chemistry to get rid of this and that and all. What he said, well, what if it was a bacteria? So he went to work. It took him 3 years to discover it was a bacteria. And he could hardly wait to get to the stage to show this to science. And he had it. He got it, and there was a conference. And he showed on the screen all of the experiments he did. So it was just absolutely a proof that finally we knew that a bacteria caused ulcers. And they laughed him off the stage. Can you believe that? These are scientists and use the scientific method, but because it was against the narrative of the day, the consensus of the day, they laughed him off the stage. And what was fun about that is the story, it would have made a great movie, maybe it has been, is that he got so frustrated, he decided, okay, because it's a bacteria, I will develop the antidote to the bacteria and give myself ulcers and cure myself. And everybody can see that that's what it was. So on a public stage, he did this, basically. In other words, everybody was watching, but he almost killed himself because he didn't know how much of the bacteria to give himself. But it worked, and he finally came out of it, and then everybody paid attention. Oh my God, he's right. What does it take to get out of the narrative of what you think it is, therefore it is, don't confuse me with the facts? I remember the story of the scientist who thought, there has to be something else, because in the surgeries that go on, people are getting infected. What's going on? And so it was a theory at first that maybe there are very small, undetectable, unseeable creepy crawlers all over. And they're all over your body, they're everywhere. And of course that was like, and what book are you reading? What science fiction and then came the microscope. And bang, there they were, germs. So before they were proven by the microscope, it was folly. Nobody even wanted to look. The narrative was they don't exist. Therefore, they don't exist. Until the microscope came, and there they were. This is the example that I give because this is what Cryon says is going to happen. Now, there's a lot of things that Cryon has said is going to happen, and they've happened. And so I believe that this is just the next evolution of science. It's almost, however, like we've been kept from it. Now, that's another story, because Cryon talks about invention when it's time. And that's another story of the 24th pair of chromosomes. I'm going to get there. What are they for? I'm going to get there. What does it take to see them? There will come an instrument, and Cryon has even hinted at the functionality of how it might work, and that is with cryo and plasma. And he has actually said both of those words in channel as a clue to those who might be working the puzzle to see interdimensional or multidimensional energy. So, does it make sense that we should only be able to see 3D when science says there's at least 11D or more? The acknowledgement of dimensionality is scientific. We live in a four-dimensional world, you and I, height, width, depth, and breadth, just four dimensions, and yet there are many dimensions around us. Now, this is science, and this is quantum energy that they're now admitting, they're proving. So we're still only in four. So right away, there is the premise, we're only in four, and there's a lot more, but we can't see them. So doesn't it make sense that somewhere along the line, there should be some inventions given where we might open the door and see what we cannot see in 4D, multidimensional things? It'll be an instrument. It'll come slowly. And Krein says, and it will change the world. It's not just a microscope. So let me go into that. Because suddenly we have the idea, an instrument to be developed that will peek into and allow you to see multidimensionality. Are you aware that we still can't see or understand gravity? I mean, there's still theories. We don't really know what it is. Are you aware that we cannot see or truly understand magnetic fields? We have a way of stimulating things to know they're there. We have a way of seeing that they're there. But the actual magnetic field is still a mystery. Could it be that both of those things have a multidimensional aspect? We'll see. What do you think scientists will see when they can turn on this instrument for the first time and see multidimensionality? And Krein says they will see life everywhere that they had no idea was there, and it will have to redefine what life is. There is life that does not reproduce. There is life that responds, reacts, communicates, much different than any biological life, and it's all around us. There is the field that is all around us. There are energies everywhere that will pop up and show up and glow when this instrument is discovered. And, of course, they will see the 24 set chromosome pairs, because they will turn it inward on the body, they'll turn it outward and look at the... I don't know when. But Krein has hinted at many things. Why are there 24 instead of 23? Because the 24th pair was given to us by those from the stars. And they've always been there, waiting to awaken if we decided to stay on the planet instead of destroying it. That was Krein's message in 1993 when the first book was written called The End Times. It was a startling book because many thought it was a book with the title would say, we're in the end times, we're all going to be destroyed. The title was actually about the end of old times. It's the end of old energy, the end times. And in that book, the smallest book that Krein has ever given of all of the 14 that have been written from Krein that were channeled, that book contained the most concise information. You're not going to have World War III. There's not going to be an Armageddon. There's not going to be all of these things that were predicted. And that, again, we sailed right past those things. Krein was absolutely correct. Krein said there'd be a change in the magnetic field, in the alignment of magnetics. You can read it on the compass, and that took place. You can just look at your history. Look at the runway numbers being rewritten and all these things. The magnetic grid shifted. Why did it have to shift? In order to facilitate a new consciousness on the planet. Now there are physicists who even agree with that. Dieter Broers is one of them, who says this shift in magnetics is going to allow the human brain to expand. Science is starting to look at things a lot differently. That book from Krein started the process of thinking differently about what this might be as a human civilization in the shift, past 2012. Here we are. The 24th pair is a time capsule that would open when it was time. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. And what we're starting to see is a very slow release. That release is multi-layered. And it is different than what you think. It is not a linear release. I want you to follow with me what humans, and I would say all humanity, not just the humans today, feel how things work. There really is a cause and effect that we expect. Not only that, we are told ever since school or whatever that things happen a certain way, and you do this and this happens, you do this and this happens. It's almost all cause and effect. It's allopathic, if you want to say, cause and effect. And Aquinas says when you get into multidimensionality, all that goes away, especially when you get into what's going on internally. There is an intelligence that is a body intelligence, that is a sacred intelligence that the ancients have known about forever. There's an innate that we try to speak to. This comes into play because that 24th pair knows you. That 24th pair will release the things that you need as you need them. So there's going to be a whole lot of people praying to the 24th pair. And there's going to be a whole lot of people saying, I want this and that. When do I get this? When do I get that? This is not the way it works. Suddenly, you have a partner inside from the stars that you've always had that knows what you need as you need it. And so it's not going to be pleasing to some that it takes longer than you think because you're not ready. Or you get one of several things and you know there's a trio of things you need and you only got one of them. And so you are then, again, when are the other two? When are the other two? When are the other two? And the answer is when it's ready. This is a different system. This is a different kind of system, even than the esoteric systems than you've been used to. We get crystals, we get information. You do this, you get information. You meditate here, you get this. That's cause and effect. This is not. So here you have a partner within yourself that came from the stars that knows you. There is a lineage of this 24th pair that goes past that which is your life. You had it also during your past lives. Think about it. There is a legacy you have received from your Akash, a learning legacy that you also had that resides in there. It's different from your Akash, and we're going to get there tomorrow. This 24th pair has remembered all of the amazing, spectacular, enlightened moments you've ever had. That is what it remembers. It doesn't remember what the Akash remembers. This enlightened pair that you have, you might even rename it the mastery pair, because this will be the one that starts to give you what the promise has always been, an ascended planet. You've heard that, haven't you? How do we get to where the masters are? They came to this planet. They showed us what could be done. Many were killed because of it. Because of it. It's just too much. You don't want it. Get out of here. But that's what they did. Not just one, not just two, but many. They came to show you that humans have mastery within. Now we get the chance. How did they do that? Through their 24th chromosome pair, which was active to the max. They could create things with their minds. They could do so many things. Masters do that. Why? Because consciousness is energy. Are you getting this? It's starting to come full circle. I get very excited about what's next. But the biggest one, and I'll just take 2 minutes, it's the inventions that are coming. I'm going to open a box and close it quickly because this is not the time to talk about it. But those of us, those of us who are in touch with the other side of the veil see AI differently than the human race sees it. You're afraid of it because of all of your movies and all of your books, because you're afraid that AI will become you and then destroy you, because that's what you would do. Krein says without AI, you'll never get to the stars. Krein says the secret that AI can give you is the curing of most diseases on the planet, because it will be able to think past what you can do, and that's the purpose of it. Be careful it doesn't write your poetry. Be careful it doesn't sing your songs or write your songs. Be careful it doesn't become you. Don't let it be you. Let it be the tool that is always been here, ready to help with the next step. Box closed. Don't write me letters. All right? I want to give it to Monica for a little meditation before crying.
And so all that Lee has shared with us is very empowering and positive and uplifting. Mm-hmm. Are you open to receiving more? Are you willing to open that door a little further to allow the cracks of light that are spilling in to become even brighter and lighter in your life? And if the answer is yes to all these questions, I invite you to open up your hearts even more. Perhaps you may even wish to open your hands into an open position so that physically you are sending a signal that you are open to receiving even more. And in this willingness to receive even more, let us suspend any thoughts about what that might look like. Let us be willing to put away any preconceived ideas about how the gifts and tools that are opening up to us may look like, feel like, or be like. Let us simply be willing to be in the flow of energy that we are about to have delivered to us from Cryon and Alcazar. So in this place of willingness to receive the energies that are about to be delivered, I invite you now to gently place your hands on your lap if you've had them out. Relax your body. Permission has been granted. And Cryon, we are ready to proceed.
Greetings, dear ones. I'm Cryon of Magnetic Service. I wish to continue with the temple journey. It's going to be a little different. We're assuming that most of you listening now are aware of the rooms we have been in the last 2 sessions, because we're about ready to explain some things and make some things confusing at the same time. There's a temple on a hill. The temple is the human being at its best on the earth, but it also resounds with that which is in your soul. Two places at the same time, you might say. You're not visiting the other side of the veil. You're visiting the multidimensional human who is here on the planet. Room by room, we've taken you, and we left off in a very interesting room filled with light, with a lot of little tiny parts, very excited. And we stopped before we explained it, and now you are going to get the explanation. That is the cellular structure of the body, celebrating what is happening with the release of the energy of the 24th pair. Excited, jumping up and down, saying they're here, they're here. And of course there's light there. This is your body, your innate, understanding it first, even before you do, that something is happening. But there's more. Here comes the golden one, the guide, you might say, to the next room, and the next room, and the next room. How many rooms are there in this temple? And the answer is yes. The number of rooms is not important because they exist because of you. They exist at what you are working with at the time. They expand, they contract, they add, they subtract even within themselves. Dear ones, I'm going to take you to the next room. The guide is the golden one. Do you remember who this is? This is your higher self. This is the sacred you, the bigger you. You walk into this room. What a beautiful thing this is. It's almost like you walked into the most perfect spa. The walls are glowing. There are plants all around, and in the middle of the room, there is a beautiful swimming pool. Wow. And you say, this is my place of relaxation. And the golden one looks at you and says, well, not exactly. Take a look. Now here in this room, you're going to learn a lot more than is just this room. You're going to learn about the temple itself. You're going to learn more about multidimensionality within the rooms. As you look at the room, as you inch toward the swimming pool, you'll notice there doesn't seem to be any water in it. As you look down into the pool, you see there is some. Not much. Not really enough to swim in, but there is some. And you say to the angel, that which is the golden one, that is your guide, the you that is bigger. You say, what is this? And the golden one looks at you and says, well, this is the room of self-worth. You don't have much, do you? Because the water that is in the pool is the amount that you have right now as you walk this planet. Take a look, a closer look. And as you look into the pool, you see that there is a stream of water coming out of a pipe that is going into the pool. So there's some coming in. And you look at the golden one and you say, it appears that it's being filled up. And the golden one says, yes, but not very fast. In fact, more will evaporate than is being filled up in the trials of life that you go through. Just as soon as you fill up some, it goes away. That's the dynamics of self-worth. Being who you are, you say, where is the valve for this switch or this pipe, or where is the source? And the golden one says, well, why don't you look for it? So you go around the room, and sure enough, you see a little box. And on the box it says, there's actually a word on it that says valve. How could you miss that? You open it, and there is the stem of the valve, but not the handle. And you say, I can't do this without the handle. And the golden one says, yes, the handle is hiding. And you say, can you enlighten me as to where it's hiding? And the golden one says, well, you've already passed it. It was in the first room that you pretty much ignored. Now, I want you to stop for a moment, dear ones, while I explain something about this temple. There are no real linear rooms in this temple. In the spirit of oneness, all of the rooms are one. But for you, they're segmented. Now that means that simply by visualizing, you can go to any of the rooms you want to instantly. You don't have to go through them in a linear fashion. And so this is being explained to you by the Golden One, who says, isn't it amazing that this temple of yours can be traversed so easily? Would you like to find the handle? And of course you say, yes, immediately. I know I can have more self-worth. Show me where it is and I'll turn it. The Golden One says, shut your eyes and imagine the first room you were in, the one that I live in, the one that you came in through the front door. Instantly, you're in that room, but it doesn't look like that room. What was in that room? Go back with me. Go back to the first time we went into the temple. In that room, what was there? It was a little room with a lot of stuff. And you were so involved in the gold one, you ignored it. And you just went with the gold one. Suddenly, you realize this room is enormous. It changed its size. How can this be, Gold One, who is still with you? And the Gold One says, the rooms are as big or as small as you allow them to be. What is this room, you say? This is the sacred room. This is your higher self room. This is the God room. This is the essence of you room. This is the control panel for the rest of the rooms. And this is where the handle is. This is where everything is. And the more time you spend with me, your higher self, and the more time you spend in this room, analyzing the God in you, this is the love room. The more you have the compassionate spirit of the love of spirit itself, the bigger it gets, the golder it gets, the more light is here. And you start walking this room and you see so many things you don't understand, but you're looking for the handle. And you find it. I'm going to take this handle right now back to that other room, and the gold one says, wait a minute, this is the control panel. You don't have to take it anywhere. Just turn it, dear ones. You see, the secret is you discover self-worth in room one, not the self-worth room. You reach down, you turn the handle, and you can actually hear the flowing of the water into the pool of self-worth. And you realize spending time in the love room has caused the pool to start filling up for the first time. Nothing you have done all of your life has given you self-worth. No process, no procedure, no channeler, no meditator. It all had to be you with you in this room, the love room, the oneness room, the sacred room. We could leave here right now before we go to any other room in any other channel. But the gold one says to you, how do you like it so far? And you say, I am liking it a lot. I'm feeling the oneness. I'm starting to understand that no matter what room I'm in, this truly is the one that I return to and facilitate within. And the gold one says, did you realize you passed something as you were looking for the handle? And you say, what did I pass? You say, you passed the bag of gold. There's a bag of gold? Yes. Where is it? Well, it disappeared. because you were too consumed on looking for something else. You see, there's a story in that. You also passed something else that you saw and paused at. Ah, you're talking about the picture. Yes. Yes. Why didn't you look at the picture closely? Because I was looking for the handle. Ah, yes. What was on the picture? It was a picture of someone I don't know. But it called to me. I almost stopped there. What was the picture, Gold One? And the Gold One looks at you and says, someone you don't know yet was there. And you get excited. There's someone I'm going to meet, isn't there? And the Gold One says, yes. Then you get really excited and you say, when? And the Gold One says, does it matter when? Because it could be this lifetime. It could be next lifetime. It doesn't matter. We're the same. You're always here, dear one. You'll always be alive on the earth at the time the meeting will occur. Dear one, do you feel love for the picture? Yes, I do. Then expect it when it's supposed to be. This is the control room for all that is in your life. And it is you, sacred, because you are me. All these things are so confusing. These things have so many layers of instructions and wisdom. I ask you to review what has been said this day so you might understand it better. And the next time we meet, still another room or more will be yours. Blessed is the human being who analyzes what has been said and understands that the power of your life resides in the sacredness and oneness of you, not in anything else, not in processes, procedures, academia, but you with you as a piece of God in this place called earth. And so it is.
Beloved ones, we are with you still. We invite you once more to connect to each other around the planet, to connect the energy field that your guides have been holding for you throughout these days. Allow yourself to drop into that soft stillness within and around you. Relax into it. Relax. Feel your own energy as you relax. We have said in the past that when we look at you, we do not see you as you see each other. We see a complex, energetic field. You are, as we have said, multidimensional beings. And so when we look at you, we see these aspects of you, the energetics of you. This is the you that you are slowly, slowly being invited to remember. The real you, as we often say. You have heard us talking about your DNA, for example. And your scientists will tell you you have DNA in every cell. But it is more than that. It is not trillions of separate little units. No. It is an energy field that connects every physical aspect of your DNA. It is all part of the same field of energy. You are a complex miracle, this body of yours. Slowly, slowly you will start to understand your multidimensional nature. You have heard of this innate intelligence of the body. Some of you are vaguely aware of this. It is time to know this more. For your body can talk to you. Can you allow that? Are you ready to listen to this innate intelligence? But there is more. You are more. You are a vast consciousness. We call it the superconscious self or your higher self. Beyond that, your soul. And beyond that, you are one with spirit. Hard for the mind to totally grasp that you can be all these things at once. But it is the case. As you have heard, God is within you. Whatever name you place on that incredible consciousness of spirit. And so there are higher parts of you that you are not used to communicating with. It is time to know these higher aspects of self. We are not asking you to believe what we are saying. For when you believe something, you simply accept it as reality and say, well, this is how it is. And this is how the various religions have controlled you over the years. We do not want you to believe what we say. We want you to experience for yourself what we are saying. Because when you experience something, it becomes your reality, your truth. So we say to you all, believe anything. Investigate. Investigate those things that you are drawn to, that resonate with you. So we invite you again to feel the energy within you and around you. For it is the same energetic. Just as you imagine the air around you, which you do not see, but it is not just around you. You are breathing it in. It becomes part of you. And it moves deeper into your blood. So, are you separate from the air around you? No. You are integrating with it. You are not separate from it. Similarly, the energies of the guides, the energies you are creating together, you are holding and creating a field together. You are not separate from it. You are part of it. You are part of this ocean of energy. Can you visualize that? You are an ocean of energy. And this physical body of yours is a more compact little blob of energy within this vast ocean. And there are many levels and layers to this ocean of energy. And you are part of those other levels and layers also. This reality is both extremely complex and extremely simple. You are, have always been, and will always be part of this vast ocean of energy. That which you call your consciousness, that which you are aware of, for you are aware that you are a conscious being. But we have said so many times you are much more than the consciousness you are currently experiencing. As you raise your vibration, not temporarily, but as you permanently, step by little step, raise your vibration, you become more conscious. When you are more conscious, you become more creative. You create your life in a more beautiful way. And as you do that, you become more conscious of what is possible. So slowly, slowly, more and more of your superconscious self or your higher self starts to inhabit the human form. Until you raise your vibration permanently high enough to reach that state that you call enlightenment. That is not the end of your journey. No, not at all. But it is a big step, a big transition, a place of amazing realizations. For we can say to you 1,000,000 times or more, you are God. And that is just information for the mind. Until you have that experience. Many of the masters, when they reached that point and became enlightened, they have said in many different ways, I am that. Anulhak. I am God. And those around them sometimes killed them, simply because it was going against their religion. But beloved ones, there will come a moment when you realize, not with the mind, with your whole beingness, the dance of spirit. So, feel your presence, feel your energy right now, and allow for the possibility that you are a much greater consciousness than you are experiencing right now. And let us call that your superconscious self, or your higher self if you prefer that term. So right now, become very sensitive to your own energy. Just feel the vibration within and around. And we're going to ask you in a moment to call for that superconscious self or your higher self, which you are always connected to. And it has always been with you. But for most of you, you've not even really been aware or communicated with it. And that is changing. So just imagine yourself, your human consciousness in your body as you perceive it. And now, from your humanness, from the desire to feel more of who you are, ask inside, with this deep, strong intention and desire, for your superconscious self or your higher self to come to your humanness right now. And can you feel it is already happening? Can you feel an energy surrounding you? Ask for more. Thank you. Bring me more of this. Feel that energy vibrating you at a higher, faster level. This is a taste of the real you. It cannot stay with you right now because the body and your energy and your intentions need to elevate. But can you feel this? In this moment, this is more of the real you. Feel it. Acknowledge it. Ask for this to come and be with you 24/7. Can you feel this? Good, because you might sense it is already lifting again. It is a taste of the real self. Feel your body now. Feel your vibration now. Has it changed from a few moments ago? With your allowing for the possibility, you have allowed some of that vibration to stay with you. The reason we guide these meditations, the reason we help you raise your vibration, is to give you a taste, a temporary taste of these high energies, so that you know it is possible. The taste that you just received of your superconscious self, let that be almost like a magnet for your desire to know self more. And let us say this, that taste that you just experienced was not the whole of who you are. It was a small part of your superconscious self embracing you for a moment, a brief moment. Why doesn't it stay with you? Because, beloved, you need to make space for it. What does that mean? It means it is time to let go of those old beliefs, those old habit patterns that you still hold on to. You have habits that you know are not so good for you. but you keep on with them. It is like a security blanket for you, for there is a deep fear within which has been trained into you, conditioned into you. You have a deep fear of not being in control, a fear of letting go. How can I exist in something that I do not know? That is why we give you these tastes of experience. That is why Spirit talks to you through so many channels. To put it into the field of humanity, there is so much more.
And so, beloved ones, feel the stillness, feel the depth you have reached. Simply being present with our words as they flow from Spirit. You are reconnecting with that Spirit that is within you. It happens so naturally, you almost don't notice. Beloveds, it is when you are simply attuned and present that we on the other side of the veil, so to speak, can be present with you. It is not through some grasping. It is simply part of your operating system that you are accessing more and more of as you grow in your awareness. And so let us move deeper into the field now, inviting each one of you from this place of stillness to invite the consciousness of the Stargate, the etheric Stargate, to once again form around you. Visualizing, sensing, feeling your Stargate. Inviting the activation of the Stargate grid, all of the Stargates around the world. We are calling for them to activate now, once again. And inviting the Stargate grid once again to vibrate at a strong 12th dimensional frequency. So we are calling for a strong energy field of the 12th dimension. And simply staying present. There is nothing to do. Being with this stillness.
Feel.
Feel as you are simply staying present. It is as if you are moving toward the center of a great spiral. This spiral has been moving through you as your soul, your spirit, your higher self journeys through existence. We give you the image now as if existence itself has been like a great spiral, a grand spiral staircase. And in the moments where you taste pure stillness, you are simply at one in the center, unmoved in the center. Feeling the purity of your awareness. Feeling and sensing all that has moved through your beingness, and yet none of it is you. And so you are free.
Being aware of your awareness. Being aware of being aware. Can you feel this consciousness in your field? As you feel self in this ocean of energy, we are all beginning to understand more deeply how important it is to love self above all else. And so into this very soft, gentle meditation energy, we are going to ask you with a strong desire, a strong intention. Each one of you now asking for the presence, the energy, and the support of the Master of Love, known as Jesus.
And so we are calling for the presence of Jesus the Nazarene.
And feel, here he comes, feeling his presence, joining us. Jesus, Yeshua, Sananda, whatever name works for you. Feel and just invite now. Invite his vibration of divine love into your field, into your very cells, into your multi-dimensional nature. Just inviting this divine love through this Master, inviting it into self. Come closer. Come closer. Yes, come closer. Feel his energy vibrating your energy field. Ask for the support to integrate this love into your field so that you can love self more deeply This is not selfish as we have been told. This is the way to transform self. And in doing so, your love overflows quite naturally without any effort. It flows into your environment, not just to the people, but to the nature. It flows from you effortlessly. Feeling that vibration in your field as you gently integrate, and now asking once more for the Master of Love to shower you yet again with more frequencies of love. And feel, here it comes. Can you feel this? More love coming to you right now. Allowing it, relaxing into it. Nothing to do but just welcome it. Yes. Thank you. Bring me more of this loving energy. Very good. Allowing. Basking in these energies as you gently absorb them without trying, just by relaxing and allowing. You are worthy of this love. We love you just as you are. We love you just as you are. We love you just as you are. And it will always be so.
And so another master, also a master of love and higher consciousness, one who is known as a high priest in the inner earth city of Telos, one who is also known to have been an original leader in the times of Lemuria, one who has come from the Pleiades, wishing to join you in this stillness. He is the one known as Adama. And so we ask each one of you just to ask inside now for his presence in this space.
We call for the presence and the blessings of Adama.
And feel.
Can you feel as he joins us in this global meditation? Come closer. Open your hearts to receive his presence. He came in the beginning and will remain with us all until the earth is welcomed back into the galactic community as humans all radiate that energy of enlightenment together. Adama.
Be very present in these moments, for you are receiving much that perhaps you are currently only hearing the faint whispers as they echo through the multidimensional you to your humanness. Always, when you enter multidimensional energy fields, they are touching parts of you that extend into those dimensions. You are vast. Be present with the vastness of who you are. A few moments staying connected to this inner stillness. For you are being touched by the masters, the master of love, the master of higher consciousness, and the mastery that is your true nature. Very good. And so, beloved ones, you have done well. You may notice that you find yourself in a new state. And so our invitation to you is to be very gentle with yourselves this day. Stay present as much as possible. Allow these energy fields to simply stay with you as you move about, whether you are entering your sleep state or whether you are continuing your day, just setting the intention now for these fields of consciousness to remain with you. Okay. And so when you are ready, you can very slowly and very gently allow your awareness to become more present with the physical, feeling self in the body. It seems we went somewhere.
There's a reluctance to come back. Yeah. And I think that's the invitation. We stay with that energy as we come back. Yeah.
Yeah, stay with that sweetness. Allow the magnetism to continue to pull you.
Could you feel your superconscious or your higher self coming to you for a moment? You could feel that? Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, so everyone at home, again, thank you so much for being with us, bringing your energy and your contribution here. And we will see you once more in your tomorrow.